And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening! Truth is Spookier Than Fiction Edition, Halloween 2022. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is the finalization of Elon Musk's purchase of the social media juggernaut Twitter, to much wailing and gnashing of liberal teeth. Per tradition, several blue checks copied and pasted their empty threats to move to Canada should things not go their way. Earlier this week, after Musk announced if the purchase closed he'd fire 75% of the bloated, useless workforce, Twitter employees were so afraid they might actually have to come up with some real jobs to do, and then actually do them, that they published an open letter full of demands that read like a spoiled 10-year-old throwing a tantrum in Walmart. But alas and alack, it went through, and now they'll have to find real jobs doing actual work where they don't have free wine on tap. Seriously, Twitter headquarters truly has free food in their pretentious cafeteria, an imported espresso machine, and wine on tap next to their game room, which is next to their meditation room, which is next to their cry room. I swear, I'm not making this up. Elon announced closing the deal by changing his Twitter bio to Chief Twit and carrying a bathroom sink into the headquarters so he could tell the dad joke, "Let that sink in." In order to keep up with my fellow kids, Joe Biden changed his Twitter bio to Chief Twat and walked around the White House carrying an old toilet. Oh wait, that was just his latest executive order. Biden didn't have to tell a dad joke, as he's a joke of a dad. After demanding that the Seattle Police Department be defunded, City Council member Kshama Sawant went on a public tirade belittling the department for failing to investigate anonymous poo flinging into her yard. She said, and I swear I am not making this up, quote, "As a socialist city council member who has participated in Black Lives Matter protests, I am being told that my case of 6 threatening incidents involving human excrement doesn't merit even a serious investigation, let alone protection," end quote. Even as everyone around her collapsed in fits of giggling, Sawant still failed to see the irony in her statement. Meanwhile, in another growing cesspool metropolis, municipal employees of New York may be allowed to return to their jobs after being fired for refusing to become pincushions for the great medical experiment of 2020. Staten Island Supreme Court Justice Ralph Porzio ruled Monday that the vaccination requirement is arbitrary and capricious, and illustrated why by citing facts that would get this video censored off of YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for repeating, no matter how true and backed up by real science. The city of New York, of course, is appealing the decision. The last thing the increasingly violent and homeless-riddled city needs is more healthy people back at work. Since we're debunking Ooga Booga Bug lies, yet another study proves the thing was created in a lab. While we knew this in 2019 because Chinese scientists told us this just before they got Epstein, it's nice to have further confirmation of things we know but can't discuss in public because TikTok is watching us all. Put your tinfoil hats in the microwave, kids. Things are about to get even spicier. When questioned on why Democrats are more focused on abortion than the economy in the midterms, Nancy Pelosi said, and I quote, "The fight is not about inflation, it's about the cost of living." She then went on to strip to her underwear, invite over a homeless Canadian nudist friend, and get hammered. Whoops, that was her husband. Apologies both for the mix-up and the tasteless joke. In all honesty, CCW News sends our healing wishes to Paul Pelosi, and we hope that Nancy does the right thing by retiring and taking care of him through his rehabilitation. Meanwhile, Stacey Abrams solved both the abortion and economy issues by suggesting only people with children are concerned about rising costs, so families could just save money if they just murder more of their children. After signing yet another executive order to further screw the nation, Biden congratulated himself for passing the student loan bill by a few votes, even though the not bill never went up for a vote because it wasn't ever a bill. While the country struggled with food shortages, keeping the lights on, and imminent nuclear war, Biden did an interview in which he repeatedly groped the host, agreed with a grown man wearing a little girl's dress that states must be forced to mutilate children, and then fell asleep. On camera, mid-word, while explaining how he's fit enough to run for a second term. 81 million votes, ladies and gentlemen. 81 million votes. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us.